Episode 2 of the Beardcaster. My name is Scott Sikora, and welcome to the Beardcaster. And welcome again to episode number 2 of the Beardcaster. My name is Scott Sikora, and I am glad to see you came back after episode 1. It was such a fun-filled, exciting episode with so much laughter and hijinks and craziness, which I hope to continue in this episode. So thank you very much for coming back. This is episode 2, and this episode will be filled with a lot less of you-knows and you-knows. I listened to it the other day and was like, holy crap, I feel really bad for everyone because I hate listening to podcasts with people that repetitively go, you know, because you know what? You probably don't know. And I don't know why that's a nervous tick that people have when they're doing interviews or talking or something where they continuously say, you know. So I'm calling myself out, and I'm going to work on that for this episode and for future episodes. So we're going to start off this episode by going over www.thebeardcaster.com. It is my website, which I really suggest that you all go to and check out. There's some really cool things there that I would like for you to look at. You can go to my About page, and it'll give you a little bit of a brief overview of who I am, what I'm about, what this podcast is about, and what I want to accomplish with this podcast. So check that page out. The next page you'll go to will be the blog. The blog is like a diary. So, but it's not like a diary that like a 12 or a 14-year-old girl would have. Not like, you know, I'm going to try to hide this under my bed so my little brother doesn't find out that I was, you know, doing bad stuff and whatever. So this is more of like these are my random thoughts of the day or every couple days or some really cool link that I find online that I want to share with everyone. So I'll usually post it there. And I'll also post different podcast information on that page as well. Then the next page is the photos page, which I dabble in photography a little bit. So I'm kind of constructing this page as I go along right now. So there's some pictures from different events and of beard competitions and stuff of some of my friends and just all some crazy styles and stuff that, you know, if you're interested in checking that out to kind of, if you're new to this whole thing, you don't quite understand what it is. And I guess I can understand that growing a beard or mustache and styling and all crazy like is more of a visual thing. So it doesn't really translate very well into a podcast. So I greatly apologize for that. That's why I'm just trying to make a different kind of entertainment process, I guess you will, because I'm not super descriptive, so sometimes I guess I'm going to be really boring when it comes to like being verbally colorful with my language to try to describe something. So I would suggest that you go to the photo page and you'll be able to understand when I talk about a certain style or just to kind of get an overview of what it is that we do. The next page on my website is the store. If you click on that, it will take you to my Amazon page, which is called the Beardcaster Bazaar. And at the Beardcaster Bazaar, I have many different categories of different products you can choose from, such as beard oils, beard balms, mustache waxes, beard kits, shampoos and conditioner, beard supplements, brushes and combs, shirts, fun stuff, and trimmers. So if you go to that page, I've went through pretty much all of Amazon, which I've been doing all this summer long. I've been going through each entire product on Amazon, combing it over and making sure it was a product that I would stand behind as something. If you were interested in buying it, you can go to this area, you can click on it, and I get an affiliate link. So I make like 0.0001 of a cent off every purchase. So I'm not particularly here to make money off of this, but I figured it was a good way for everyone to, or it was a good place for people to go to kind of get everything all in one place instead of having to go look in 36,000 different places. So if you're interested in any of those things I just said, you can go to my website. Like I said, go to my store and everything will all be there. There's a bunch of really cool stuff. I spent a lot of hours putting this all together. So if you're interested, take the time. I get a little kickback, so it's one of the little things that'll help me fund this show. So, okay. So then the next cool part on my website is called the Help a Stranger page. Okay. So on this, it used to be donate. That's what I had it last week, so I changed it because I thought Help a Stranger was more of a better title for this page. So what you do is you click on that, and it takes you to a GoFundMe page of a random person to you. Pretty random to me, but it's a page that was brought to my attention by someone, or it was brought to this one specifically was brought to my attention by Elizabeth Banks, who is hosting an event tonight, which we are going to at the Lake Tavern in Cortland, Ohio. And one of the things we're trying to raise money for is for this, her friend Isaac Durig. And he was recently diagnosed with leukemia. So if you go to the Help a Friend page, it will take you to the GoFundMe page for Isaac. And I'll just read you what it says here on his page. Okay, this was written by a Randy Stottlemyre, which I believe he's the one who set up this page. So this is what he wrote. Meet Isaac Durig. Isaac is a 22-year-old from Howland, Ohio. He is the son of Michael and Patricia Durig and a Howland High School graduate. Just a few short weeks ago, Isaac was a normal, healthy young man. On 9/29/2015, Isaac went to the emergency room for some strange symptoms. He had been coughing up blood and had some blood in his stool. The news he got in the ER that day was grim. Isaac was diagnosed with acute lymphocytic leukemia. This is one of the fastest moving strands of leukemia. Isaac must undergo a minimum of 30 days of chemo starting immediately. To add insult to injury, he has a fluid sac around his heart, and his chemo is attracted to fluid. They have also found a large mass on his lung. The cancer has metastasized to most of his body. But what you may not know about Isaac is that he is a fighter. Isaac's father, Michael, is one of the hardest working men I have ever met. Mike has been working 2 full-time jobs since he was young. He works midnights as a water plant operator for the Mahoning Valley Sanitary District. When Mike gets off of work in the morning, he doesn't go home and go to bed like the rest of America. He changes his hat and operates an excavator for a construction company for the next 8 to 10 hours. He then goes home and lays his head down for a whopping 4 hours before he gets up and does it again. He is doing this for the past 15 years. That's amazing. He does this to support his children, Nicole, Seth, Nate, Jacob, Isaac, and Samuel. The reason I am telling you this is to explain the work ethic this incredible family has. Isaac works for one of his older brothers, Jacob, as an excavator. Jacob is 24, and with the Durig work ethic, he owns his own company. I have the pleasure of working with Isaac's 2 other older brothers at the Howland Fire Department, Nate and Seth. These 2 men are rough, tough dudes that do one thing: get stuff done. And if there's one thing Mike Durig has passed on to these incredible people, it's when you start something, you finish it. Well, unfortunately, Isaac was given the task of beating the most aggressive leukemia, and he's going to finish it, healthy and cancer-free. With your help and prayers, we will ease the financial burden put on this incredible family and kick the hell out of this terrible disease called cancer. The funds raised will go towards the medical bills and other costs accrued through Isaac's care and recovery. And that, once again, was written by Randy Stottlemyre. So thank you for that. So like I said, if you go to www.thebeardcaster.com and you go to Help a Stranger, that will take you right to Isaac's GoFundMe page, and you can make a donation if you choose. If not, I guess just keep them in your prayers. So that's what I have to say about that. The next link you will see is my sponsor. My current sponsor is Waffen Der Whiskerr Oil. It is one of the most kick-ass beard oils I have ever used. My friend and owner, I guess, not only owner, but makes everything. So I guess he's the all-around mastermind of this whole thing. So, but anyways, his name is Matt Beaton, and he's been working on this for almost a couple of years now, I think. So, and I've had the luxury of being able to test a lot of his stuff out. So I've gotten to see a lot of development from the very beginning till where he is now, which is he has so many wonderful scents, and I just love every single one of his products. So he's by far the number one oil that I would suggest to all of you. So what you want to do is if you go to thebeardcaster.com, on the top of the page, you just click the name Waffen Der Whiskerr Oil, and it will take you right to their homepage where you can order any one of their amazing products, which I highly suggest you do. Then the next link and the last link so far on my page is a link to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. We had the luxury of working with them a couple months ago at the third annual Great Lakes Regional Beard and Mustache Championship, and I'm very happy that we were able to collect and make a sizable donation to them, and I want to continue with helping them as much as I can, even past what we did for them before. So if you know anyone who has multiple sclerosis, please give a check on that. You can learn a lot of things about it, and they have tons of donation pages all over there. So you can go and make a donation to them if you'd like. And then last but not least, if you click on my logo image on the main page, it will take you to a Patreon page. Now, this page is specific to me. It is a donation page created to help me cover my costs to do this podcast, because it can get a little steep at times. So I'd rather have you donate money to all these other charities that I'm trying to help out and put me bottom of the list, because I think what they're doing is way more important than what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing this as an entertainment purpose for myself because it's something I've always wanted to do, but I also want to try to help out as many people as I can and get charities known and people that need help. So I suggest go to donate to a stranger or help a stranger out. Go to the National Multiple Sclerosis and check them out. And then if you want to, you can make a little donation, 25 cents, I guess, or I don't even know how it works yet. So, if you feel like that, so I'll leave it there. So after that, the next order of business is going to be a discussion. Now, I had the chance to interview a very interesting fella a little bit ago, and I recorded it, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And like I said, I'm going to try to have a very interesting guest, or at least what I think is interesting, to share with everyone. I've met so many interesting and colorful people out there in the beard and mustache community that have done so many cool things, have had really awesome life stories or life experiences, or they've done really cool charity work or something like that. And those are the people I want to feature on this program. So my first interview is with a man named Joshua Jenniges. Now, Josh is a member of a club called the Beards of the Old Northwest, which is also the club I belong to. And I've gotten to know Josh very well over the past few years of being in the club, and he's helped me out with a lot of organizational things with competitions and helping me with my website and my podcast and stuff, which I greatly appreciate. And as I talked to him, I really didn't realize what an interesting story he had behind him. So I asked him some interesting questions and got some, interesting answers. And this is the interview that I got with him. I was really interested to hear about his thoughts on the gas prices and how they are just dropping so much. And he also talked about, which I I don't know where he came up with this, but he started talking about where he was and the impact that when Princess Diana got married and how that affected him growing up. And he also gave some brief thoughts on Bruce Jenner and Apple stocks. Like I said, this conversation was all over the place. So, and we recorded this at a bowling alley. So if you listen very, very carefully in the background, I'm pretty sure someone got a strike, and I'm almost 100% positive there was a turkey in there somewhere. So just take a really good listen to this, and I hope you enjoy, because I enjoyed talking with Josh. He's an awesome dude. Check him out. Greetings. We are at a bowling alley in Independence, Ohio.
Woo! Bowling.
It's good. And we just did some bowling. We're getting ready to do a, is it a Toys for Tots bowling event in Boardman, Ohio on December 12th or something. I think it's something along that lines.
Coming up.
Yeah, I'll get the details on that much better. But so anyways, today I wanted to record a little interview with this man I am sitting here with, which introduce yourself.
My name is Josh Jenniges.
Hi, Josh.
Hi.
I'm Scott.
Hey, Scott.
We've known each other for a while, so the reason I picked you was because, number one, you're an awesome dude.
Thank you, sir.
Number two, I think you have an extremely interesting talent. Not that it's interesting, but it's a amazing talent.
Oh, thank you.
You're a very good artist. You're always drawing doodles. You're always doing these cool little pictures and posting them up on Facebook and stuff. So
I thought you were talking about my dancing career. I'm sorry.
That too. Well, I haven't seen much of that. I haven't watched your YouTube videos. So, but anyways, why don't you tell me a little bit about your drawing history? Like, how did you discover that was your talent?
Oh, geez. I've always drawn ever since I was a kid. I think it actually goes back to when I was around 5. My parents got divorced, and they found my mom actually discovered it's like, hey, drawing keeps this kid happy, so let's go ahead and get him a sketchbook, and it'll distract him from what's really going on. And it ended up working, and I still remember like always having some sort of sketchbook, always sitting there drawing.
Do you still have that sketchbook from?
I do. I actually still have it.
Oh, that's cool.
I still look at it from time to time. It's like, wow, I really haven't improved that much, but people like my art, so it's cool. But I actually, from there, in schools, I've always involved with some sort of art form, whether it's like drawing or sculpting or ceramics or whatnot.
So you're pretty good at all of those, or is basically like drawing your strongest?
Drawing and painting are typically my strongest. I haven't done like much sculpting. I haven't done much ceramics since high school, and was almost 20 years ago now. But yeah. But from there, went to an art college, or before my art college, I went to a graphic design school.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got my certificate in graphic design right out of high school.
Oh, wow.
And then I ended up working as a housekeeper for 4.5 years at my church.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, did you go, like, because I know they have vocational schools and stuff that you can do, like, did you do that?
Yeah, it was like a 12-month program where I actually got my, basically a certificate. Basically, they gave me a piece of paper when I graduated saying, hey, you took classes.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. And then I really didn't get a job as a graphic artist right out of high school, or out of college. So I ended up just working just to pay bills. And then
Cleaning churches?
Cleaning one church. It was a large church.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
So, all right. So then after you got out of the church after 4 years, then where did that lead you?
Actually, I was at a family reunion, and sitting back at a picnic table, I'd already decided, it's like, all right, I want to not be a housekeeper anymore. I kind of want to, do something fun. And I was actually starting to look at art colleges, and a relative of mine actually lives in Sarasota, Florida, and she's like, oh, we have one down by me. You should check that out.
Don't they also have alligators down there too?
Yeah, I saw some of those too after I got there.
Awesome.
Yes, they were big, scary.
Did you draw any picture of any alligators?
No, I was usually running from them.
Awesome. Okay, so you go to Sarasota, Florida.
I go to Sarasota, Florida to check out the art school, and it just, as soon as I got there, it just had this feeling of belonging. Like, I actually belong here. I'm supposed to go here. So not knowing what a portfolio was, not knowing what they were really looking for in a portfolio, I basically just went ahead and got a bunch of loose leaf drawings that I did, threw them in a box, and mailed it down there to actually apply. And about a month later, I actually get a letter back from them saying I was accepted. So I ended up going down to, a year later, I actually moved down to Sarasota, Florida, and went to Ringling School of Art and Design, which is now Ringling College of Art and Design.
They don't have any brothers, do they?
Actually, it's the same guy. The same guy actually that started the circus actually started the college too.
Oh, wow.
Back in 1931.
Jeez.
Yeah, no kidding. There's actually a Ringling Museum, an art museum, and a Ringling Circus Museum.
Oh, so was it the two? What's the story behind the Ringling brothers? Were they? Do you not really know anything about that?
I don't know where the brothers came from, but it was John Ringling actually started making his fortune doing the circus. And like the circus actually, like Ringling Circus would actually summer or winter in Florida, in Sarasota. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the houses down there actually have a lot of circus history, especially like in some of the developed areas. Like you could I remember being in one house, there was a friend of a friend, we were sitting there talking, and apparently this was like the gorilla, like Gargantua, I can't remember the gorilla's name, but it was like the gorilla's pen was actually the breakfast nook, and that's where the gorilla lived during the winters.
In the house or outside?
In the house.
Wow. I couldn't imagine the smell.
It was barred up.
Well, I'm sure it's not like the gorilla was like, "Hey, I'd like some eggs and toast for breakfast today, please."
Flinging what they fling at times.
Eggs.
Exactly.
Because it's breakfast area, so.
Yes.
All right. So that's a little bit of history about the Ringling family in Florida. Okay, so you go to the Ringling school, the art school.
Yep.
So you tell me about that.
Well, I actually went down there. I had to pick one of my majors, my first year there, and I had to toss up between computer animation and illustration. And
what year frame is this?
This is 2002.
Okay.
So
computers were pretty new and everything. They just have been developed a few years ago, and
well, they were. It wasn't necessarily as much developed as like they were really exploring it more and more. The computer animation had been around for a while, and they had been taught at Ringling for a while before then. I know a lot of like Disney. I think my third year at Ringling pretty much just shut down all their 2D animation, and they sold Ringling half their animation desks. And that's when I actually took animation for fun, like 2D animation, and I learned it's like there's no way in hell I'm going to do this. It's way too much work for not enough outcome.
Is that like cell drawing?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like drawing on paper, flipping the papers back and forth.
Like like how they would draw the old like Disney cartoons or Tom and Jerry's.
Yep. I learned how to do that, and it was fun, but I hated every minute of it.
Oh, I can imagine. It seems like such a painstakingly boring job.
Yeah. Spend 10 minutes drawing a picture, then spend another 10 minutes drawing a picture to see if it actually works, and realize, nope, it doesn't. Erase. And all you're doing is changing the movement of an arm by like a millimeter or something? Yeah, depending upon how fast you want it to move. Yeah, pretty much.
I couldn't imagine that. That just seems like it would be such a horribly boring.
I kind of equate it like being stuck in a traffic jam. You know, it's like you really want to get to where you're going, but you got to stop and go.
Well, I mean, it gives you an appreciation, too, for all the cartoons we grew up on. Like, I mean, Transformers or G.I. Joe or any of those old cartoons, like, that's how they were all drawn.
Yeah.
I mean...
Mostly in Korea or Japan or China.
Yeah. So all right. So you dabbled with that a little bit? And
I actually chose my main major as illustration and decided I toyed around with going into computer animation. And I talked with a bunch of seniors and realized it's like
senior citizens
senior computer animators.
Oh, all right.
At college.
But there are a lot of senior citizens in Florida, though, too, correct?
That's the main population. It's basically God's waiting room is what it is.
All right, because it's warm. They like it warm down there.
I did, too. It was nice.
Yeah. Well, it's much nicer than the weather in Ohio now with the snow.
It's a little bit warmer, a little bit. There's less alligators up here, though.
Okay, so you're hanging out, at the zoo, which we're not far from here, but they're probably sleeping right now. They're probably indoors.
Yeah, probably. Cold-blooded and all.
Okay, so all right, so you're hanging out with the seniors.
Hanging out with the seniors, and I asked them questions, and I found out that they basically spend their entire fourth year at college in the labs animating. And I'm
like they go inside of a Labrador Retriever and work inside of it?
Yeah, it's pretty much how it works. You know, they're not very big.
No, it's like the chocolate. Sometimes the chocolate labs are a little bit bigger than the blacks or the yellows.
Yep.
But they just would have a zipper on them, and they just climb up inside of them like a tauntaun.
Yep. And the smell. Oh, my God, the smell.
Oh,
But no,
and you thought they smelled bad on the outside.
exactly.
Jeez. All right. So, okay. So they went inside the labs.
So they would go in like the computer, like the animating labs, and they would spend 12 to 14 hours a day in there working. And it's just like, I like sunshine, and I just don't have the attention span for that. So I decided, like, I'm just going to stick with illustration as a major, and spent 4 years learning how to become a better illustrator.
Well, that's cool. All right. Okay. So you graduate, and then what happens?
They hand me a nice diploma.
Does it have like clowns on it because it's a ringling?
No, it was a nice frame though.
Oh,
I still have it.
Well, that's good.
It's in a cedar chest right now.
So it smells good, and the moths aren't eating it.
Actually, the cedar chest smells like mothballs. I had nothing to do with that. Someone else did.
Yeah, right. Senior citizen, because senior citizens like freebase mothballs.
It smells nice.
No, I like all my sweaters that smell like mothballs.
So I went ahead and graduated. And at this time, I was actually working as a teaching assistant for a pre-college program, which was during the summers. And I would basically go back to Minnesota for about 2 or 3 weeks, go back to the college, and actually teach high schoolers that would come to the college and spend 2 to 3 weeks or something like that in the summertime. And I would basically be in charge of the labs. I'd sit there and help teachers teach them. And the chocolate labs,
yes. And the yellow labs. I'm like, you're sit.
Yeah, the golden doodle
sit.
labs, yeah.
All right. Okay, sorry.
No, it's all right. I would basically, after I graduated, I went back to college to actually do the pre-college program. And after I did that.
This sounds really confusing.
Yeah, it was. I drove back to Minnesota.
Okay, so Minnesota was your original home base.
Yep.
So that's where you started out, and then you went to Sarasota, Florida. Now you're back in Minnesota.
Yep, moved back to Minnesota basically after graduating. Spent 3 months living with my mom, sending my portfolio up to companies that I wanted to work for, and ended up 3 months later, I ended up getting a job or getting an application at American Greetings.
All right.
And I ended up getting hired.
Very cool.
So, was it about 4 or 5 months after graduation, I ended up driving out to Cleveland, Ohio.
Very good. So the American Greetings is based out of Cleveland, Ohio, apparently.
Yes, it is. It's where our world headquarters are.
All right. So that is what you are currently doing right now.
Yep. I am actually a product designer for American Greetings. It's mainly right now I'm doing tech products. So it's like if it's a pop-up, if it's got a sound in it, if it wiggles or moves or vibrates or
flashes.
Something. Flashes, yeah.
Very cool. So pretty much anyone can go into any store in the country and possibly see something you've worked on?
If American Greetings products are sold there, chances are, yeah.
Very cool. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Most of my stuff's like in Target, or we're in like half the Walmarts or more than half the Walmarts in the world. We're also in a bunch of grocery stores, CVS, stuff like that.
So pretty much you're in envelopes too?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, so.
That's where you stuff my art, is in an envelope.
You just shove it in there.
Yep.
Okay, so now you've currently been working there for how many years?
I've been there since November 2006. I started as a full-time intern, and then
so you got coffee?
Pretty much.
Awesome.
No, I actually did like actual work as an intern. It was just like a way to get my foot in the door. And as soon as about 11 months later, I got hired full-time. So I've been there full-time since 2007, so that's 9 years right now.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Okay, so and you've been able to appear on a few different greeting cards, correct?
Gosh, I'm on 6 or 7 greeting cards.
Jeez. 2
of which I know have never seen the light of day, so I can't really technically show people it until it's actually produced. Wait, no, one of them. The other one was actually produced in the UK, and I can actually show that one around now.
Yeah, that's where you were showing me the picture of that earlier today. So.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about your beard now.
It's on my face.
It is, besides being on your face. How does work feel about your...
Actually, it's probably one of the reasons why I'm on a few greeting cards is because of my beard.
Well, that's cool.
I'm the only person in the company that actually has a beard like this. And since I work on a lot of humor product, they think it's funny. They think it's cool. And so I actually got on some greeting card products because of it. So I was like, cool, that works.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool. I mean, obviously, the beard and mustache trend has been pretty much growing exponentially over the past 4 or 5 years, at least what I can tell. I mean, it's cool that it's a little bit more acceptable, more accessible, and, you know, people are utilizing the look in product placement and stuff like that. So
I've had people tell me, it's just like, oh, how can you actually do this? What does work say? Thinking that like, oh, they're really against it. Well, I've actually had like upper management compliment me on my beard. I actually had like, gosh, what's it? My boss's boss's boss. I think that's how it goes.
Steve?
No, not Steve. Steve's a dick. That's an inside joke.
Okay.
But she actually was really interested, and she asked if she could touch my beard. And she's like, oh, it's really soft, and she loves it. So I'm just like, okay, so somebody that's basically my boss likes my beard, I'm cool.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So what's your plans? Are you like what are your plans with your beard?
I have no idea. It's on my face. It's here for now.
No plans of cutting it, trimming it?
No plans right now.
Well, that's good.
So.
That's good. I mean...
I'll trim it up a little bit, but I'll do that after winter. Because it's a nice little face warmer.
Okay, other than the greeting card stuff, do you do anything on the side?
I make decals. I do freelance art. Do logos. I do doodles. I post doodles almost every day on my Instagram and Facebook.
Well, give us your contact information so people can look you up on Facebook and or Instagram, or where you would post some of your doodles and stuff.
Facebook, it's just Josh Jenniges. It's Jenniges. There's 2 people on Facebook with that name. I'm related to the other guy, but I'm the only one that's posting artwork.
Very good.
I think the other guy actually got a DUI somewhere, so it's definitely not me.
That's not you.
No.
And he doesn't have a beard, does he?
No, he doesn't.
All right.
And Instagram, it's JRJ1977. And Tumblr, if I can find it real quick. It's 77JRJ.
All right.
Wow, I'm really...
You're pushing yourself good here.
I was born in 77, so that's why the whole 77 thing comes in.
Very good. Okay, so what has there been any specific beard-related products that you've worked on?
I've done logos for Waffen Der Whiskerr Oil. Did business cards for him, placeholders.
You designed the labels too, correct, for the bottles?
Designed the labels for the bottles.
Very cool. You can find a link to that on the Beardcaster website. There's a link at the top of the page to the
it is great stuff. I highly recommend Woodshed.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite, too. One of my favorite smells.
I was hoping he was going to be here because I wanted some more Woodshed.
Yeah, so check Matt Beaton's stuff out and, check it out, like it, find him on Facebook and all that stuff, too. So,
yep.
All right. Let's see. Anything else
I've done T-shirt designs for the club. I've done T-shirt designs for Waffen Der Whiskerr Oil. I've hoarded myself out a lot to the club.
Oh, we appreciate it. You've done some great things for me too, and I greatly appreciate everything you've done. And you're just a genuinely great, good-hearted man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And that's why I wanted to. Well, thank you. But that's why I wanted to talk to you, because you're just a good dude. You got a great beard, and I know you've done some awesome things.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to share you with everyone out there. So
cool. Thanks.
But I thank you for taking this 20 minutes to talk to me.
Yep, no problem.
That flew by. But
it did.
Yeah, so...
you guys can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever if you're interested in purchasing stuff or want work done. Let me know.
All right,
we'll talk.
Very cool, Josh.
So cool.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
So there you have it. That was Joshua Jenniges. I can't believe what he said about the gas prices being so wicked cheap. That just made me laugh so hard. But, I mean, don't take his word for it. And you probably won't, because I think I had to edit that part out. So that was just really great. I hope you enjoyed listening to that interview with Joshua. And he's a really colorful dude. And it was just really interesting to hear about alligators and gigantic gorilla cages in kitchens. So I hope to, once again, pick up another cool interview with someone else that is interesting and you find interesting as well. So I want to thank you for checking out the Beardcaster this week. We'll have an episode up in a couple weeks again. If you can, go to the iTunes and subscribe to the Beardcaster. Leave me some feedback. It helps my rating. It gets me up towards the top of the 62,000 beard casting podcasts out there. So anything you can do to help would just be wonderful. I really would thank you. So without further ado, thank you for checking out episode 2. We shall see you in a few weeks. Do something nice for someone, anyone, every day. That's all I ask. Thank you.